This is unlike any garden I've ever been to before. It's so lush. There is so much foliage, hostas everywhere. It's absolutely extraordinary. Oh, here, there's only just room to walk through. I do feel like I've stepped into another world.
This incredible collection, christened the Hanging Hostas of Hampshire, is the creation of June Coley and her partner John.
And when did you first get hooked on hostas?
I started growing hosta in 1995. I was looking for a perennial for the shade. I saw this hosta at a car boat sale, and it grew very well in my backyard. And then I started to look for other hostas in the local nursery. So now I have about 1,300 varieties.
We've gone up the walls of the house and vertically into the trees and made pagodas with the hostas. It's often said that the hosta people are hostaholics. We can always find ways to find a room for a few more.
The garden is divided into different spaces. There's an artificial but very convincing stream running through lush, naturalistic planting. Contrasting with this is the cool formality of the Islamic garden. There are variegated hostas, blues, yellows and miniatures, and all expertly arranged.
So do you both tend to agree about what goes where, how you arrange things?
No, I'm the one who decides where this should go.
Right, there's got to be a boss in the garden.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly June.
I always look for the colors, the size and shape. And
June is very creative, and she can set out the hostas and arrange them. That's why we have them in pots, because she can move them about and get a pleasing display.
This is amazing, June. It's like wherever you look, there are hostas. I mean, just growing them up here in the pots on the wall, that's fantastic.
Well, it is a custom in the tropics to hang plants, and also at this level you can appreciate the foliage even more.
So what would you describe as the ideal growing conditions for hostas? What do they really need to thrive?
Dapple shade. They like to have maybe 4 hours of sun. We use potting compost, we use humus, we use grit to give the roots the best chance for growing. And we feed the plant. We use slow-release fertiliser, and we give them a boost ready for growing roots in the autumn and producing their shoots for the next year.
Now, you cannot sit here and not admire the fact that it is pristine. I mean, the leaves are all beautiful. I can't see any holes, any damage anywhere. So this is the million-dollar question. What do you do about slugs and snails?
The most important thing is garden cleanliness. So in the autumn we clear up all the debris, and that gets rid of a lot of slugs and snail eggs which are likely to hatch in the spring. And then usually around February time we use the blue slug pellet, and we distribute that like seeds around the garden, and that kills off the first generation of slugs and snails that may be emerging. And then when the leaves have emerged and slugs and snails might be on leaves, we use a garlic spray. It irritates their nervous system and they go off into someone else's garden. It doesn't kill them, but it does kill slug eggs in the soil.
John's recipe for garlic spray is as follows. Crush 1 bulb of garlic and add it to a litre of water. Boil it for 5 minutes, and when it's cooled, sieve it, bottle it, and put it in the fridge. Then add 1 tablespoonful per litre of water and spray.
This garden is very deceptive, but in the best way. It's not a big garden, but it looks enormous. And I think that's because they've divided up the space, so you don't see everything immediately. You have to work your way through the paths, and sometimes it's really quite narrow. And then each space has a very individual feel. It's absolutely beautiful. And the best thing of all is if this was the entirety of your garden, this small space here, just look how beautiful it can be.